Hello and welcome back to Spoken Essays. Oh, the camera is right. Okay. Hello and welcome back to Spoken Essays. I'm Harshilora and you're watching the live video where I figure out how to code. So, in this live, let's start with a few more projects and let's continue the rest of them. I finished 2 projects yesterday, so now it's time for the rest of the 3 projects. The rest 3 projects. So, what I'll do is I'll share my main screen as you can see here. I also need to open my profile. Let's get started with that right away. I don't need to go full screen actually. I'll go full split screen, so I'll open Visual Studio Code and I use a tile to display with you guys. Yeah, okay. So as you can see here, I'll move this actually here, right. Very good. Now freeCodeCamp org. I'll also open MongoDB because we are going to use that. I think I can also open I can use Command Shift T. Can I move this tab? Move tab to freeCodeCamp here, window. Post requests. Right. Yeah, I'll need that too. Move that tab as well. I will open this tab too here instead of learn tab, so we can get started quickly. Right, very good. So all the tests will be done here. Very good. So the project is to create this URL shortener. If this already exists, it will say invalid URL, right? Okay. https://google.com. It should say URL 40. So that means if I write short URL /40, it will take me to the specific page. Right, so I think one was to get data and one was to post data. So post is to receive data and get is to, well, post is to send data really. So where are we sending it to? Okay, I'm sending it to this, right? Okay. So for now, if I go here, oh, that's theirs. Mine, if I run this file npm start at port 3000, let's open, u. Is this, they're the same, so I can either keep this open or keep that open. They're all, okay. So localhost 3000. If I write, let's say https://google.com, right now it will say cannot post API/short URL. So suppose I'm not supposed to do this, I'm supposed to write API/short URL. That's what I'll do. So I'll press save, cancel, run it again, refresh the page. Very good. Now it says invalid URL because it's supposed to say invalid URL. That's okay. We can go through this one by one. The output should be original URL https:// and short URL 40. Very good. So I'll save this. This number will be a variable which will probably be the index value we'll get from a database where we'll store that data. Here will be the original URL, which is request.body, I suppose. Where was it? Request.body.first. Maybe not. Probably not, but let's find out. The only way we can find out is if I write request.body here, we'll see what it prints. So request.body. Okay, cancel and run again. Right, if I go back and still write google.com, it will say short URL 40, so request.body returned nothing, as I can see here. So instead I'll ask it to print this much, like yet. Cancel, run again. If I click on this, it still prints short URL and undefined. That means request.body is undefined. So the request we got, the URL we received is not in request.body, I see. Let's find out where it goes, where it is, where it's stored. Okay. Post URL, I suppose I need to understand how that works. I'll have to find out my way. Okay. Cancel, run again. On 3000 it is, so https://google.com. Okay, we see the request item. Now here I'll command F, do one thing, Google. We have Google Chrome and we have Google Chrome, only two results, so that means I'll have to find out. Yeah. In the meanwhile, I'll also do this. I've already signed in. With Google, my friend. Now there already was a test database. So suppose I'll have to create another one. Connect my drivers to this Mongo server. Okay, let's get started. I'll also refer to some of my earlier projects. So for that I need to go to the desktop. So to go to the desktop, I open my Finder and we go to my FCC projects, and I think boilerplate mongoose. Yeah. In the my app file, we'll see that I tried to connect it with this process.env.mongo-uri. That's the one. Do I also need to copy anything else? .env? No, that's okay. I suppose that's the only thing I need for now. Okay. I'll paste it here. You know what? Not even there. I should do it here. Okay. You know what? I definitely need to word wrap this. Yeah. I need to wrap the text. Right. And then now I'll use you. We don't have that, Mongo URI code. Instead, I'll paste this much, in double quotes or single quotes, doesn't matter. And then now I change this to true. The password. Okay. So that will help me connect through the database. And now I can write this. I suppose person schema will have a URL schema. It will hold index. It will only hold the URL. Oh, my video is vertical. Thank you, Gel, for telling me that. The screen must have turned itself off. Wait a minute. How about now? Yeah. Thank you, Gel. Okay. Back to you. So, right. So Julius Oppenheimer, person.create. Yeah, I'll use this much. Yeah, definitely will. need to create and return some data, don't we? Suppose we'll need find by ID and find will create many people or one people really. It will only be one request at a time. I see. So find person by ID, my code will become find URL by ID, the same, almost the same thing. This is the regex. I don't know where it will go. Probably in the post request, probably, maybe. Let's paste that much. Wait, and I don't think this will be here, find person by ID. Yeah, it will be here when we write that get argument. So it will get the ID based on the request that we receive, and it will write that here. Of course, mine won't be as easy as I think it is, but let's find out. We'll find out sooner than later, right? Yeah. Right, so what else do I need to do? Think. Okay. By the way, this, yeah, I'll leave that for now. Person by ID. I don't know what the person ID will be. But think. I'm stuck again. Let me look into this. Okay. When I send a post request to this /API/short URL, which is this URL should be stored in a Mongo database server. Yeah. Right. So to add data. Thank you, Jel. Thank you for the beautiful face comment. I just saw that. Thank you. Okay, so create and save person. I'll create a URL schema. I suppose I can declare it. Oh yeah, I can define them outside and then call them from here, I suppose. Why not? The APIs don't need my help to define anything. Public function, whatever. Let's paste this much. This will be, let's say, URL schema instead. So URL schema is mongoose.schema. It will be a string, yeah, required true, yes, that's it. You won't be the name, I will keep it URL. So constant URL schema. URL. So now I've modeled a schema. Yes. Create and save person. Yeah, of course, whatever. I think this variable will be called in itself, so I can move it Now it won't be this much information. Let's think. This isn't called anywhere, that's why it's not here. I get it. You are though. Think, man, think. What will we do? So I suppose I think. By the way, is Mongoose installed in this MongoDB package lock? No, .env is, but that isn't. So that makes me doubt whether I should be using MongoDB as well, whether they want me to do it with MongoDB or not. So I'll comment this out. Google first, URL shortener, freeCodeCamp. Explore this online freeCodeCamp URL shortcut and interactive online playground. Yep, I knew it. Express, MongoDB, Express and Mongoose and full project. They literally decided that we will be using Mongoose as the ORM, as backend, Node.js as backend, as a simple embedded JS file as the front end. Yeah. The solution could look like this. Damn, nice. So we're starting. App.get, and it should get the job done. Setting up your view engine. So set view engine EJS. Nah, I've not done anything related to EJS. Part 3, setting up MongoDB. I like that. I'm not using view engine or EJS at all. Let's fill the appropriate. I would like a hint, not a solution. Oh yeah, wait a minute. I will look into the GitHub repo and understand how they. Oh. The boilerplate code can be found here. Allah? I suppose this doesn't include that much. I can see there is also 0.6% shell. So do you already have a shell file? Sample.env. I see. Anyway, let's try and understand this. Shut up. Right. What am I trying to do? Let's think of that. Okay. So what I'm trying to do is whatever the URL we get, we send that, we make an entry of that in the database, and then whenever someone enters that database, so it means the get URL, API short URL / the URL, then we take them to that page instead of responding with a JSON file or a JSON statement. So the first project would be to store that data. So we already have that app.get. Now where is app. ये कहाँ गया बे? Posts. Oh, that's all of it is inside this, huh? Okay. Let's first remove this. Then person schema can be defined outside. Yeah. Okay. I think this should, all of this should go from here till here. Yeah. Right. They also give us a better function, a better way to check for that regex. And so instead of here regex, I can perhaps use this DNS.lookup host CB from the DNS core module to verify a submitted URL. Yeah. How do we verify a submitted URL? How do we get the URL? I can't see it in the store, so we need to Google that. What will I Google? What's it called? That button request object. Find text box data. How to use the request object? I don't want to know how to use that. Unless you tell me, yes, then yeah. User Manish Noob. Where's the digital ocean thing? So get https://app get/user ID. Now we're not doing that. How to get an input from HTML, store it in a variable in Node.js. Action method post. Oh, so that means I need to look into the HTML file. Where is the HTML views index? Go away. The index uses API/short URL post. Yeah. So whatever we submit shall be post sent. Cool, that's okay. And I think I've already solved that, but how do I, yeah, where is that text box? Field set stores a legend URL shortener. Yeah, I can see that. This one they mean, and then we have the text for URL placeholder. The placeholder says this much, but we can fill it, so it's an input of the type text, so which is a text box. Okay, and they're connected with the API short URL. That's okay. I don't need to play with the index.html file at all. Just close it. Right, coming back here, I need to look into the response object so that I can get that URL. Now I don't think it is in the URL itself. How do I get request? Yeah, in an HTML file. Yeah. In your JS file, constant body parser require body parser. We don't have that. We're not using that. Right. We need to set up the middleware. Yeah, middleware banana tha. App.use. Okay, so I need to set up middleware for that. app.use body parser.url encoded extended true. Root will be as follows. App.post request let first name equals. Okay, so thank you for that. Thank you, Binayak. DAICCT. Okay, so I need to create an app use. Thank you. URL encoded. I think I saw that in one of our projects. Why did I not remember? Thank you. So now maybe I can use request.body.firstName or whatever I'm using. First name. Acha, input type text name is first name. So input name chahiye. I should have kept that open. get file open. Keep it open then. What are you? What's your name? Type is text. Name is URL. Very good. So request.body.url. Excuse me. Nice, thank you. Let's find out whether that works. Console.log request.body.url. I don't know if this will work. Might work, might not work. Let's find out. Okay, there's definitely an error. So where did I go wrong? At body parser. Okay, so for middleware, I suppose I need to look into my previous projects. Bye. Yeah, I knew it. Body parsing middleware to handle post requests. I should have. Let's look into my projects then. Where was the middleware now? Chain middleware or any middleware, please. Root level request logger middleware. Yeah, I'm a middleware. Ha. Okay, this is the hint and the answer, I suppose. Use app.use function middleware. Maybe the next part is hidden. Right, go back. Chain middleware to create a time server. We're not creating a time server, but we'll work on this. We're not using now. Right, solution please. Yeah, so app.get request response in next. So we need a callback function inside this. App.use. Show me app.use, my friend. Wait a minute. I don't need to do that. I can use app.post too. How? Yeah, body parser is not defined. I get it. Because body parser is stored here. Achha. Did we do that for our previous projects? I won't see it in here. Maybe I'll see it in the server.js file. Mongoose fs body parser. Yes, they did it. They did it here. Then you did it extended false. Then app.use body parser.json get. Very cool. So they did store that. Then I should also do it. So here also define body parser. This tells me that is not installed. Are you? Package.json body parser. Let me copy that much. Add that to the dependencies. Where are the red errors? I suppose because they're not installed. It's not installed. Okay, so I also need the package.json file. Body parser is installed. Interesting. But Mongo isn't. Interesting. I'm not doing anything to the index.html file. This is label for URL input, ID URL input. Right. Semicolon. Nope. Why did it work here but not there? Server.js constant body parser equals require body parser. Yeah. I copied the entire bit. Let me paste it again. Okay. Now there are no red errors. Okay. think maybe now I'll see what request.body.url says. Let's npm start this. Errors, no. Good. Coming back here. Not let me pin this. No, that's theirs. Here's mine. What? I lost it. Ouch. Ouch to myself. Localhost 3000. Let me pin this page so I know where it is. https google.com. Very good. So it prints URL google.com. Good. Request.body.url. .url. Huh. Wait a minute. Cancel. Okay. .url. Let's find out. Refresh. Oh yeah. Acha, my bad. Wait. Yeah, you're working correctly. .url should help me do that. Cancel and run again. Right. Go back. Refresh. Now it will print the URL itself, whatever we write in the input, and short URL. Good. Okay, so body parser taken care of. App.use, nicely done. Let me resize this a little bit here. In my face, in it. Okay. Now I also need to do mongoose. I don't know how else I'll do anything. We also need to think a little bit. I was lost for a second there. I was thinking about this your short URL 40. In the previous live video, when I submitted the URL https://google.com, it stored it at 40. So if it gets the same URL, it does not make an entry. We need to do something. We need to think of that. I'll uncomment this much so that I can connect to mongoose. I'll define this as well. Schema to store the URL. Well, this is the schema itself, so we've defined it, we've not called it. Right. Let new URL be a model. So now it's created. Right. I need to think. Will this run itself automatically or will it go crazy? I don't know whether it will run automatically or it will only run when called. I suppose it will only run when called. Who knows? We can find out, but how? And we also need that get ID anyway, because we need to show it here in it. Now I'm going to take a short break. When I come back, I will continue with this. Yep, guys, I'm back. Let's get to this. We have to finish this, don't we? Okay, so right now the only question I have is whether creating an entry. I'm defining a function here. If I'm defining a function here, wait, on comment, yeah. If I'm defining a function here, right. Interesting. Interesting. Anyway, so this is the function called create and save person. Why does it end here? Suppose because of the break. Okay. Interesting. Anyway. Now the connection has, whatever, let's not spend the time over there. Let's try and think what this is doing. Okay, so create and save URL. Whatever the URL is. New URL equals new. I've already defined that, variable. Oh, it's a global variable. Ouch. Variable what? OG URL. OG URL to new URL. Let's change the format to. The only thing I'm entering in this is the URL itself. Which is what you'll get when you write done. No. I need a placeholder, an argument here. URL. Okay. OG URL dot save error data whatever command Z. OG URL. OG is also original URL, but yeah. Okay. If error return console whatever. Okay, so that means if I click on post, this will get saved. Let's find out. If I call this function inside the post argument here, only in the console, nothing in the console. Create and save URL function, call the URL to add and done. Any. I don't know if I'm supposed to. Yeah. So request body URL and so create and save URL function call, which takes two arguments. One is done, so you just make it done, get it done. Let's find out if this gets done or not. I think maybe because I added a function call, maybe it will work, maybe it won't work. I have no clue. Maybe it will work. Okay, let's save this much. Request.body.url. We'll see if there are any errors. Sorry. Okay. npm start. Very good. There are some errors, so I have to install mongoose. Right. Let's install mongoose as well then. Server.js, my package.json, mongodb and mongoose. Very good. I'll copy these. I'll go to, the package.json file is open. Let's add them. Save. npm install, so that it installs the mongoose. Yeah, done. Now npm start. If we see any errors, yes, there is an error. What? Bad authentication failed. Atlas error again. Code 8000. Atlas error. How did I solve this before? Atlas error 8000. MongoDB Atlas for performing transaction on multiple. Anyway, how did it work before with this code? This is the boilerplate mongoose code. So let's look at you. Package my app. Constant mongoose equals require mongoose. Mongoose.connect. This is what I used. Why didn't you work now? Instead of process.env.mongo URI, right? Maybe it's the .env file that I can't see. How to see hidden files? How to view hidden files in Mac? The shortcut is Command Shift dot. Yeah, okay. So Command Shift dot. Okay. That's where the .env file is. Yeah, I can't open it. I should be able to open it. Right, Mongo URL looks like this. Oh, I changed the password, didn't I? Right. But yeah, this is all the same really. Okay, so the password was changed. My bad. Right, going here. The cluster is still that is still that. Okay, let's find out. Saved. Start. Okay. No errors yet. Okay, very good. Okay. Let's run this. Go away. URL shortener. Yeah, middleware was taken care of. Thank you. What was you? Again, middleware. URL shortener. Right. Refresh this page. Very good. If I click on this, good, we see the original URL and we see short URL, but we see an error here. What is the error? Done is not a function. That means which line, my friend? Index.js 24.5. Okay, so line 24. This fifth character says done. It only happened if after I clicked on the button, so that means this function wasn't called until we did that. Good. In that case, what happens if I comment this out? Let's find out, shall we? Let's go back, refresh the page, google.com, post URL. This worked and there was no error here. Okay, let's go to MongoDB and check. Is it still open? What? even if I see at least one index of that new URL, I'll know that I've successfully done it. Come on. Database. There was one connection, I suppose, 9:08 p.m., which is just a minute ago, so that means some data was sent. I don't want to edit config. No, cancel. Sheesh. What does data leak? No, not data leak, then. Yeah. Collections will tell me HV MongoDB. Nope. Maybe it's in test. URLs. Yep, it's in test. Did it understand? Did it make it? I think it made that by itself. Oh yeah. You can see here ID is this. Okay. I wanted a number here. So it was entered twice. That's good. Now I also need a short URL number. Where's that thing? Yeah. You can post a URL to API short URL and get a JSON response with original URL and short URL properties. Here's an example, original URL, short URL. Okay. If you pass an invalid URL, yeah, okay. When you visit API short URL will be redirected to the original URL. Yeah, I get it. Okay, so at least we have this data. How about people? Okay, yeah. We have people, Pablo, Ashley, whatever. Now, the thing is, we need to figure out how to give them a number. This ID is of no use to me. What does this button do? Expand all. Yeah, please expand. Right. So okay, so now we can store a link in our database, but I also need an index ID. Maybe not an index ID, I need a short URL value. Yeah, whether I'll delete this and delete this. Yeah. We know that these entries are being made while we speak. Let's use https://chat.openai.com. Very good. Right, if I refresh the page, I will see there to be some changes. Yep, https://chat.openai.com. But the question remains, what do we assign it? How do we assign it a serial key? What can I do for that? Serial key in Mongo. Serial number. We want the ID field to be auto-incremented integer sequence starting from 1, 2, 3, 4 up to n. For this, create a counters collection which will keep track of the last sequence value for all sequence fields. So how do I do that? Right. We want the ID field to be an auto-incremented ER. For this, create a counters collection. JavaScript function, get next sequence value. Okay. Using the JavaScript function, insert ID this, product name this, that. Oh, shut up. That's not what I want. Well, yes, but MongoDB auto increment. Let's look at you. Follow along in Atlas. Yes. I've already signed in, my friend, so new. Now because I signed in, maybe it will throw itself off, maybe. Auto increment, yes, see, yeah, what happened to that auto increment? I'm already logged in, idiot. Now even if I sign in, it won't take me back to that page, it will take me to the project page, wouldn't you? Yeah, so what's the point? And if I go back, it will not take me there, it will ask me to sign in again. Ha ha ha, funny. See, so what's the point? Please figure that out while you're working on it. And I should not speak anything actually. Yeah, get started with I am exploring. Shut up. Data modeling templates. This is good practice and this is poor practice. Right. I don't know what they're talking about. Okay. This tutorial assumes that you have installed and configured a MongoDB address. Yep. Okay. If not done so, yeah, cool. Yeah, how does auto increment work? Although MongoDB does not support auto increment sequence as a data feature like some relational database, we can still achieve this functionality using a counter collection. So I think what I saw was correct. Cool. Okay. Step-by-step guide for auto-incrementing a field in MongoDB Atlas using a JavaScript function. So I have to define a function. Cool. Have I created a collection? No, I have not. So for this approach, you need at least 2 collections. The first collection will hold the details of students. Hence, we will name it students. Run the following command to create a students collection. I have URLs to take care of that. So that's taken care of. Do we have a server? No. Okay, good. Right, what does readme say? The boilerplate code. The boilerplate code? This is the boilerplate code. Anyway, coming back here. Okay, so create collection. We've already created a collection. I need another collection called counters. Okay. Right. Okay. Then add a trigger to implement triggers for auto increment. Log into your model. Oh yes, we need a trigger. Right. Bye. I'll close this tab. Yeah. So we have test.urls. I do not know why it automatically went to test. Yeah. I would have to learn more about MongoDB to connect to the specific databases. But I'm not using HB MongoDB, so I'll close it. Type the name to confirm. So, yeah. If I'm not using that database, then I might as well drop it. Let's continue with test anyway. Right. So I suppose I'm also not going to use people, but we'll keep people just in case. Right. So create collection triggers. Yeah, I can create databases from here itself. So counters not a database, my bad. I needed to create another table. Right, database is test. Okay, so yeah, very good. Okay. And collection name counters, preferences. Right, is there a preference? No, I suppose not. Capped collection, what do you say? Fixed size collection that supports high throughput. I do not know what that is. Time series, sequences of measurements. Nope. Clustered index ID cluster key. This provides an index to support lookups on the cluster key without the need for a secondary index. Interesting. That is interesting to see. I do not know what those words mean when they come together, but I know them separately. Clustered collections. Okay. Are we creating clustered collections, by the way? We're using counters, but are they clustered collections? Create collections. For approach, you need 2 collections. First collection will hold the details of the students. Yeah. and the other will create control counters, right? Okay, I'll just, no preferences. So I've created counters. To implement triggers for auto increment, log into your MongoDB Atlas account. Done. Go to triggers, data storage, triggers, okay. But first I suppose I need to clear URLs. I'll clear U, delete. Now triggers, what do you say? Click on add trigger and set the following values to the corresponding fields. Trigger type database, okay. Get started. If we can figure that out, then it will take not a lot of time. Right. Trigger type is database, Name is auto increment trigger, why not? Enabled, yes. Event overriding on, yes. I do not know about you, we will ignore you. What is this? Chain middleware, you can go away. Basic node, you can go away. That's the test, right? Skip events on re-enable, that doesn't say, it doesn't say that here. Event overriding on, okay. Link data sources and clusters and data lakes you like to access, data lakes you like to access, right? Cluster 0, I suppose. There's only one, but I can't click on them. Okay, cluster name, cluster 0, I see. Oh, this is an example. Is this an example? It is an example. Okay. Database is test, and we want collection name. So students and operation type insert. Okay. Interesting. Collection name will be, okay, let's keep URLs. Operation type insert. Oh, so if there is an entry in URLs, that means we will get an okay. That's cool. Delete, replace, right? Insert full document on. Select an event type function. Pre-image function. Select an event type function. Yes, this is the function. Wow, right. In the function field, add the following code. Not replace it. Replace Atlas cluster with your cluster service name. So let's read this. I suppose I'm supposed to add this here, and at the end, a database trigger will call the function with a change event or get the MongoDB service, other DB. Okay. Testing console result. Okay. Am I supposed to export equals in the function field? Add the following code. So your code should look like this. Okay, so I'm supposed to edit all of this, I suppose. Command A, Command V. Okay. Now it says what? You say what? Atlas cluster. Replace Atlas cluster with your cluster service name. My cluster service name is cluster 0. Okay. Cluster 0. Sorry, 0. Copy. Paste. Okay, what does this do? It's an asynchronous function that takes an argument called change event, so it will take that. Okay. Interesting. Right. Counter collection. This is the same thing basically, but now, thank you for this. Your code should look like this. Click and run save. Okay. Right. Click save to save the trigger. Where does save exist? Exist. I should not say. Command S. No. Okay. To run the function. add a change event to test it with your trigger. Right, you know what, I'm not going to. Let's run this. Okay. In the above code, we have first initialized counter selection and defined an insert event to trigger. To see the trigger in action, run the following commands. Insert. अच्छा ऐसे तो बोलो. Insert in the students collection. Cannot access. Okay, so ran at this time, took this many seconds. Error is message cannot access member ID of undefined name type error. Oh yeah, because I should change this name, maybe student ID. There is no student ID. We need right. Change event counters. Yeah, we have counters. This won't be student collection. Let's call it URL collection. URL collection equals context.services.getCluster 0 database change event.ns.db collection.change event.ns call whatever counter await counter collection. I'll have to rename you here too. Update one ID doc ID set sudo ID. This will become URL. No, think. Let's think first. No, yeah, I think I can change this. Set what? URL ID. Yeah, let's insert that too. Okay, counter sequence value update JSON stringify. Nice. Yeah, with counter. So let's run this again. Do I need to save this? Where does it say? Right. Okay. It says error cannot access member ID of undefined name type error. Okay. Find one and update ID change events, increment sequence value on return document, upsert, upsert, new thing, right, add a change event to test it with your trigger. I suppose I need to add that in here. In the above code, we have first initialized counter or we have written. Okay. Student ID counter if the current namespace doesn't have it to see the trigger in action. The following command is to insert a few documents in the collection. Okay. Now mine won't be that. I can do that. Oh yeah, I don't need this trigger to check for this. Do I need to save? I should have saved this, right? And then run this. But let's find out whether this works or not. We'll see if it does or if it doesn't with you in it. I'm making changes to the database. I made changes to the database. I can edit this code here. Okay. Now add a change event. So in here, or if I write, we don't have students, we have URLs. URL https://google.com. Right, let's save. I can't save it. Right, exports function call. What do you take change event, which is db.url.insert. Is this correct? I have no clue. Very good. This is what it says. Error expected unexpected token expected a comma. Very good. Where line 11 fourth character, which is I suppose you. I can do one thing then. Curly brace and you. Add a change event. Change event equals Ah, right. How did I do it before? Testing commands, yeah. Okay, so inside the change event, or do I just call this automatically? What am I? Also view the result graphically in MongoDB Atlas by traversing those. I know. Wait. Okay. So there is an error when we run this. But what if I run this? Cancel, start again, whatever, deprecation warning, whatever. This is saved, and this one was copied and pasted except for, and this is the only thing that was changed. So let's find out whether I need to make any changes or whether there are any errors. Let's find out. So if I go to database, yeah, and go to collections. In collections, I shall see counters. Counters is right now empty because I haven't added any columns to it. I suppose so. Oh yeah, people can just be ignored. URLs. There are no URLs. Very good. So let's refresh this page. Now if I write https://google.com. Okay, so the request was sent. Let's check if that request was, whether there was an entry here. If I go to URLs, I will see an entry of a URL. Good. And if I go to counters, I will not see any entry. Okay, so that means this is still not solved. Trigger. This trigger is still not solved. Suppose I made a mistake somewhere. If I'm assuming that, let's check. I should not assume. I know there is a mistake. Let's see how to solve that mistake. So there is an auto increment trigger for a database for cluster 1. It has been enabled. Latest heartbeat was 21:31:6. 21:31, almost like 6. Oh, a few seconds ago, not even that much. Right. Oh, did it take some time? Oh, maybe it was an asynchronous function. I may have jumped the gun. Let's go back to our database, collections and counters. No, there are no entries. Okay, I was wrong. Collation indexes. How many indexes are there? There's one ID index. Cool. Does URLs maybe store it? Okay, we have object ID. That's it. That's the only data. Right. Okay. URL and __ v, which is of no interest to me. If I can get that auto increment to work, it will be quite useful. Asynchronous change event. Click save to save the trigger. Run the trigger. In the above code, we have first initialized the counters connection. Kangya. This thing. No, not you. In the trigger, if I go to, can I not edit this? Why can I not edit this? Oh, it took some time to load. Okay, right. Context.services.get cluster 0 database dot change event.ns.db collection. This nowhere here inside this was students. Right. Change event.full document.id_id. Counter collection. I already have a table called counters and not counter, which is counters. Okay. Counter collection dot find one and update _id. Okay, so it's adding that ID sequence value to this. Okay, so that means I should have tested this before. Yeah. Okay, testing console. Let's resize you. Right. How do I add again? Let's check. Okay, so db.students. You are not students, you will be URLs, lowercase, dot insert URL. Yeah. You will be whatever I need. Okay. It means if you call this function, it should work. Let's see. I mean, it's only a string. Okay, 11 and 4th character. So 11th line, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11. Here it's expecting a comma at the 4th character. So 1, it's a tab, so 2 spaces. Suppose it's expecting a comma here. Yeah, 11 4, 11th line, 4th character. Unexpected token, expected a comma. Why? db.urls.insert. Why would it expect a comma? Because it's an object. But it's an maybe it's because it's an object. Maybe it's because it's an object. Okay, how about now? It's not an object, it is an insert command. Let's see. Okay, db is not defined. To see the trigger and action of the following commands, insert the document in the student's collection. Where, my friend? Okay, so how do I test this then? Exports argument, yeah. To run the function with an object argument, you click run. A database trigger will already be found with the change event. That's okay. That means I can't do this. Then what do I write? How did I add a data again? Create and save URL, stored URL to add, done URL, new URL equals URL and URL to add, save. You're using insert. So what's the problem? Maybe if I remove db, I have no clue. Right, URLs is not defined. So funny. To run the function. So yeah, how do I make an entry then? db.counters.find.pretty. The dogs are at it again. It's not even 10 o'clock, it's 9:30 only. Yeah, what can we do? Right. Create, drop database, insert, yeah. Right. Okay, but where do I come on? Example. That's not the document key field includes both the ID and username field. Nope, that's not what I'm looking for. Bye. So I don't know how to check anymore. But it returns with that doesn't exist. So how do I know whether you work or not? When I added google.com, there was nothing in the counters. Neither was there an error here. So how do I know? In the above code, we have initialized the counters collection and defined an insert event for students collection. When you insert a document into the students collection, the trigger executes which updates the sequence underscore value field in the counters collection. Okay, let's read that. Sequence underscore counters or counters underscore sequence value field, which updates the sequence value field in the counters collection. That means I need to look at their database. I do not know what the database looks like. You only created a collection. Doesn't tell me, yeah. So counter has counter. Okay. URL ID is counter.sequence.value. This can be anything, I suppose. URL ID or whatever ID. But will you be counter? Yeah, I think so. Or is it counters? I have no clue. So it says counter. Oh, yeah, this is counter. Right. Okay. Right. URL collection is URL collection. Yeah. And based on the results, this isn't the problem. This is the problem. I'm looking at the wrong place here. Okay, ran this error. First reference URLs is not defined. Trace back says at eval 11 19th character at eval 215. Okay, at native. What does that mean? So apparently these tables are not tables, they are collections, by the way. Just FYI. Wait a minute. What if I insert a document from here? What would happen? In JavaScript, please. Yeah. What? Insert a document, please. Okay. Huh. Interesting. Right. ID is whatever. Can I change this or no? But I need that. Yeah. Comma space. URL. The URL is ABCD for now. For this, can I maybe look at it better? Allah, dikha to say. Right. ID this and URL is this. Right. Yeah, that's it. Okay, it's a string. Yay, insert in document. Cool. So this was inserted. That means if the trigger is correct, we should see a counter here. We do not. So this isn't solved still. Okay, for function call, it takes the change event. Change event is this. It does not understand URL. Where at 11 19th character. What? How is that even possible? ठीक है, comment समझ गया मैं भाई. Change event is this and change event is here. It takes change event as an argument, which is u. URLs, so instead of URLs.insert, I'll write db. Interesting. What if I write db? Does that exist? Okay, maybe db doesn't exist. Database dot. Does URLs exist? Yes. So maybe it did not understand URL. Database db, the keyword dbs. Maybe. I have no clue. There's an error where reference error, database is not defined. What do you mean? Oh, come on. Trace database is not defined. 11 19 1 2 15 7 at native. Am I supposed to maybe not write database and then write cluster 0? Yeah, This is completely okay. What does this do, by the way? Define a package name. Nope, no dependency. Okay, maybe I can write cluster 0. I don't know if this will work, not work. How will I know? What does advanced do? Match expression, project expression, auto resume triggers. Let's find out if this works. Wait, database is called test, right? So am I supposed to write test then? I don't know. Let's find out. Test. Is it test or tests? It is test. Okay. Test is not defined. It does not understand what test is. Test.counters. Test.urls. My code is test.urls.insert. Okay. Insert document. How does the insert command work here? What does this do? Format, copy. Okay. Now maybe if I write cluster 0.test.urls, maybe this will work. Oh, but it doesn't understand cluster 0, right? It will say cluster 0 is undefined. Ha ha ha. In your face. Command line tools. Connect your cluster. Do I need to connect before I can run the test? Cluster 0 is not defined. So you idiot. Yeah. Yeah, I call it an idiot, but I don't know. Yeah. We have ABCD. Wait a minute. Did I add ABCD? I added ABCD from there, right? It only has that URL. Oh, I inserted that from here. Oh yeah, right. Doesn't matter. But even if I inserted it from here, there is no entry. Okay. I did change Atlas cluster. Maybe there's a nope. Does not understand this command. It's quite simple. So how do I test this? I copied and pasted all of it, right? Console.log updated json.string if I change event.ns. Yeah, the code should look like this. Cool. Click save. If the above in the above code, the MongoDB incorporator increments a field by a specified value 1 in our case. The return new document parameter when set to true automatically returns an incremented number, while the upsert parameter when set to true adds a new student ID counter if the current namespace doesn't have it. Right. Again. To see the triggered action, use the following commands to insert a few documents in the student's collection. Where? Am I supposed to assume DB is to be changed to whatever the database name is? The automatic. Okay. I can do one thing, but that would involve changing. Yeah. The HTML. Come on, man. Right. What do I need to delete this by. Yep. And you too. Yep. Right. Okay. How do I check then? Okay. So when it calls that function, it has problems. So maybe let's not call you. Let's call you automatically this way. I mean, not call you and call you. I mean, yeah, I fumbled there. Okay. What will this return? It doesn't understand cluster. It doesn't understand what cluster 0 is. I do not blame it. Even I don't know what I'm doing. So, test is not defined. Ha 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 ha. DB name is test. Or DB. Can't even write that. DB. Maybe if I write MongoDB, it's a local variable. Then we have database. This is a keyword, by the way. Why does it not say local variable? MongoDB.test.urls. I don't know. I'll have to find out. .test. What if I write URLs here? Okay. So we need to find a connection. Yeah. MongoDB. Maybe this will work. Now it doesn't know what MongoDB is. Okay. I mean, I understand. Project access is 0. Okay. If I can't check, then there's no point. But what does this do? Basically, it's an asynchronous function. It takes change event as an argument, whatever it will be. Okay. Okay, this is what it looked like before. This sample function will listen for events and replicate them into a collection. I'll press Command Z a bunch of times. It didn't work. Right. This is what it looked like before. Asynchronous function, change event document, ID key ID. This sample function will listen for events and replicate them to a collection in a different database. Replicate. I'm supposed to edit all of this and paste that much. Wait. No, I need to copy that code again. Ouch. From here till here. We paste this. Right. And instead of Atlas cluster, I write cluster 0. Because that's the Atlas cluster name. The name, yeah. That's my cluster's name. 0. Wait, 0. Right. Then we have db change event. So it works here somehow. Which is quite interesting. Am I supposed to write this? Right, .ns.col. That must be the name of the trigger. Okay. I get what this is doing. Then we have id change event.ns sequence value 1, return document, return new document, true, absurd, true, update result. Whatever. Here, instead of student id, I shall set it to URL ID. Yeah. I can keep student collection. I'll make it URL collection. Yeah. This is what it was before. I do not see any keyword. Yeah, this is counter dot. Counter is this variable defined here, so I don't need to change this. Right. this won't run, by the way. Yeah, my bad. Okay, of course it won't. Because it won't expect this mongodb.test.urls insert. Yeah. So I can't test it anymore. Why? Oh, let's save it too, by the way. So I understand what this function does. It will be triggered automatically whenever there's an entry made in URLs. Insert, yeah. You can see that. By turning on full document, you will receive the document created or modified in your change event. Right. Okay. Maybe I need to make changes to the way I enter the data. Maybe not. Because it will get the doc ID, right? Yeah. Which is you. The document ID, whatever the ID was entered. And plus it's an asynchronous function. So I don't know. All my clusters, yeah, this is get cluster 0, that's the cluster. Find one and update. So underscore ID change event.ns. Then okay, then inc, okay, increment, inc is increment sequence value, once increment by 1, I suppose. Return new document true, yes, upsert is true. It explained that. Yeah. Okay, so why does this not work? Storage size 35 KB. Refresh, please. Counters has a trigger connected to it. That's okay. URLs. Did I link them incorrectly? Collection name students insert on function. Yes, I can't test this anymore, so what's the point? Exports that argument, but my argument isn't correct according to you. Yeah, I can remove that. If I run this, it says MongoDB is not defined. So yeah, then what is defined? Please, where do I look? This learn more didn't help. First, let's find out again. Create indexes, delete, drop database, drop indexes, rename, replace, update, okay, resume token, drop indexes. I don't want to do either, any of them. Change events, and this is what an example of change event looks like. Okay, suppose this is TypeScript, this is bash script. Okay, there's some music in the background. Change streams, watch collections. I don't want to do any of these. What am I doing, by the way? What do? You take change event. You use find one and update. That's the only logical function I can see here. Right. And I'm only supposed to do this. Your code should look like this. Yay! Ha ha ha. Right. Run trigger. Okay. Where? Cancel this. I need to understand what this deprecation is too, but one battle at a time. Okay. So go back to URL shortener, not you, localhost. Go back, refresh. Very good. HTTP is google.com. Cool. So it printed the URL and the short URL. Short URL will take some time, but an entry was made. If I go back here, if I refresh, I will see an entry of google.com. Good. Oh, now we see URL ID. Okay, so maybe it started working. Did ya? Yes, it did. Nice. Okay. So it started working. I'm happy. I'm very happy. Cool. So it started working. That is so cool. Amazing. Yeah, I don't know what happened, but it worked. Maybe it took a few seconds. I should have waited a few minutes for it to work. Yeah, I was too quick with it. I was trying to be too quick with it. Yeah, okay. So perfect. So what this proves is, now if I go to their URL shortener microservice.freeCodeCamp.rocks website, and if I, let's say, https :/chat.openai.com, right? Allah. If I write post URL, it will do that, and it will create short URL number 1483, right? Okay, so how did it get to that number? Because it was stored in a database. So even if I go to, even if I log on to this short URL service, and if I write / that number, this will hold true for eternity. By eternity I mean until the database is not deleted, destroyed, disintegrated, etc. Cool. So this works. I am very satisfied. Nice, actually very nice. Okay, so onto this then I need a find command. Now find by ID, I suppose. No, I need to find the ID itself. So this save function worked. It seems I didn't need that done thing, so I'll just delete it. If there is an error, we'll see an error. If there is not an error, we won't see an error. That's okay. So this callback function is set. Now format document, please. Yes, so it looks prettier. Cool. So Mongo's installed and connected successfully. It created a URL schema. Cool. The new URL object then creates URL and URL to add. That is good. The URL was added successfully. So all of this is working. Now what I need to do is, if I go to this URL microservice, and if the URL already exists when I post the URL, I wanted to check for a few things. So I can't end it here. The number still says 14283, which was the same number. Yeah. So that means once there has been once there is an entry in the database, so if a link exists, if a link with this URL exists, or if this link itself exists in the database, then only get that URL. Wow, I just said a lot of things. I need to think again what I just what about what I said. What I need to do is, I need to first check whether that URL already exists in the database. If it already does, then good, that's very good. What do you do? If it already does, then you do not save another entry, you do not insert more data, you simply return by find. Okay, so if I go to post here, this regex, I don't know why okay, I'll comment this out for now. It's only a variable, I'm not using this. Okay, so when I call this function, I want it to do two things, either of two things. I want you to do either of two things. If I give you, if I feed you a URL, you will check whether that URL exists in the database. If it does, then you respond with whatever and the short URL. Think. What do I want it to respond with? Maybe I can keep an if statement here. Create and save URL. If that entry already is in there, then don't create and save a URL. If there is, then yeah, do. Yeah. Okay, so I'll refer to my previous projects again. My app.js. This is what we did. Open with Chrome. Yeah, fine. इसको बंद कर दो. Yeah. I'm sorry, I spoke that way. Let's copy this and I'll look at it from this page. Right. So this is the file. This is what we did in our previous projects. Now I need a find command, find people by name. Now mine won't be find one by food, find person by ID. Do I need to check it by ID or find by URL? I'll check it with URL. So find person by name. Instead of that name, I'll check URL by check URL by link. Check link by URL. I don't know. Okay. Or what do I write? I need to define an if statement too, which will hold this. Yeah. If something is true, if the URL exists, then you do this. If it doesn't, then you do this, right? If whatever the find command is equal to empty. Yeah, I need to understand MongoDB. Right. So here if I write what is it, new URL, that's the schema, right? So if new URL dot find I think maybe I can call a variable instead. What do I need to check for? I need to check for URL, right? So find what? URL and this URL. If this is empty, then you create and save the URL. If not, oh wait, my bad. If this is not empty, maybe I can find another. Yeah, if it is not empty, that means, wait, if it doesn't exist, then you create it. If it does exist, then you do this, right? Okay. If it does exist, then what do we ask it to do? Let's think. In the meanwhile, I'll press enter, command all, and format the doc. Yeah, no! I don't know what I did. Change all occurrences. No. Format document. So sorry of me. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I apologize. Okay. This has been formatted. Okay. If new URL not find, yeah, I'll store this in a variable. Maybe I can reuse this somewhere else. Oh, this also needs a callback function, I suppose. Maybe, I don't know. We'll find out. Okay. Oh yeah, I can reuse this actually. Found URL. If original, wait, let what? Whatever, can rename this to whatever I like. Let what? No, it's all URL. Let link be new URL dot find this, right? And I also need that callback function. Might as well. Okay. Comma space u. Okay. Command all, and what is the shortcut to format the document? It's function shift F. Okay, so function, but it's not function, it's option shift F, and option shift F did not work as expected. Option shift F, nope, did not at all. Let's look at U again. This is the option button. So Alt, also called Alt. Shift capital F or F, yeah, they're the same. If I do that, okay, it was, now it happened. Okay, fine, whatever. What happened to this? Oh yeah, the formatting is all messed up. Okay, I think maybe it works now. Format document again, very good. Right, if link is empty, then you create a URL. If not, then what do? Okay. I mean, if it already exists, what am I to do? I suppose I need to cut this and put it here. Then you keep the response. I mean, or you do this. Actually, yeah, I mean, in both cases I'm supposed to show the response anyway. So maybe I can think. What am I to do? What does the link store? The request body.url. Now the short URL, this will be an index number. Okay, this will also be an index number. Okay, if link exists, then I want you to find the index. URL index equals, let URL index be whatever, and then you find it. I'll move this outside because we will need it. Let URL index be new URL find. Now I want you to find it by that. So what do I want to do? Find this by that. Okay, think. Oh yeah, this done doesn't exist because it doesn't have that. Go away. इसको क्या हुआ अभी? Why is this if invalid? Command A, format document again. Thank you. Right. Why is this if behaving weirdly? Oh, because of that, right. Bus, chill. Okay. Right, how did this work? Find people by name. It took a person name as an argument. We have that. We have two arguments. We're not using done then. Error data. Right. Semicolons. Okay. What will this return, by the way? Find person by ID. Person dot find by ID. What if find people by name, right? So person dot find name, person name, that's it. Okay, so that means if I feed it a name, it will return what? An entire document. Okay. I need to go to the console to find out. So console.log link. Otherwise, come on, save. I don't know what it will do. Yeah. Also, let's find out what this deprecation problem is. It says throw error, cannot find module FCC projects URL shortly module not found. What do you mean module not found? Idiot. Save. The module exists. What module are you talking about? Acha. Okay. Shut up. Exit. Control C again. Yeah, please. Right. npm start. Are there any errors? No. So there's no problem with the way I've written there's no problem with the syntax. Let's go back. If I write google.com, a post request will be sent and it will check whether the link is empty or not, but I don't know what the link looks like, so let's check. Okay, when I wrote this, it printed the original URL because it's still request.body.url, so it would work in either case. Now it returned this, a bunch of stuff. Very good. The connection string is this. That is okay, some private stuff, right? Okay, maybe the variable it understood link as something else. It printed a bunch of data, a lot of data. Name URLs. Oh, wait a minute. How do I access only URLs then? Model name URL. Okay, we have hooks Kareem. Right. Anyway, so it returned a query because this is a query. Okay, cool. Whatever the promise is, I need name URLs, collection name URLs. Very good. Base mongoose object. Maybe I need a pretty one, so link.pretty, pretty. I don't know if this will work here. I don't know if mongoose allows that. Pretty. Okay, it is in yellow, so I'm not sure whether it will work or not. Cancel, run again, go back, https openai.com, doesn't matter. Link.pretty is not a function, so I can't just go about this. Okay, no problem. Okay, whatever. Okay, it's listening on port 3000. Go back, refresh a bunch of times. Chat.openai.com. Okay, link.pretty is not a function. Did I not? I did not save that file. Cancel, run again, back, refresh, chat.openai, post URL. Yeah, short URL 40 because this is still static text. Okay, but where do I see, this literally stores all my password, everything data. Wow. Of course I gave it the password, so yes, but nothing to be wowed about. This find got me a lot of data. Than I expected. Is it because of this error statement? I have no clue. What if I remove this error callback and only write the find function? So it didn't stop working, so that's a good sign. Let's find out. Now when I wrote this, the thing, okay, so we see the URL, good. The condition is fields undefined. Okay. Oh yeah, package.json, you can go away. Bye. Right. So this is not empty, never empty. I can see that. So it will never run this. And how many times have I entered that chat.openai.com? What? There's only one entry. Interesting. I see why. Okay. In that case, let's remove. Wait a minute. No. Yeah, let's remove it. Let's find out. Yeah. I can comment you out for now. URL, request body URL. So it did respond with an item. OP, operation, find, options. Where is the result? Okay, I don't know. Okay. Cancel, call again. Go back. Refresh the page. The first time I'm making an entry was made and this returned this. Cool. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so OpenAI should now be in the database. If I refresh the page, where's the refresh button? Come on. Okay. Refresh, please. Oh, so the refresh is here, but yeah. Okay, so now we have chat.openai.com with its URL ID at 2. Cool. So now if I try to make an entry, it should in here change something. Conditions, field undefined. I do not know whether it worked or not. I mean, where does it say that it's whether it found something or not? I don't know. Yeah. How do I find out? Find something by URL, but what do I want to find? Okay, let's look at false values then. If I look at false, I'll understand. Okay, this is a huge object. Okay, a huge object indeed. Okay, starts here. Mongoose, options, transforms, hooks, collection, promise, model name, URL. Yeah. Closed, false. Options, auto index, true, auto create, undefined. Found, was forced, closed, undefined. Name, URL, collection, URLs. Connection is native, connection base, mongoose, collections, whatever. ID 0. Is this the same ID? Where? Okay. Does this ID 0 occur? Yeah, it has. Okay, it has shown itself twice. Okay. Host is this. Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's all public information for you guys anyway. Okay. So it returns schema, object. Okay. Paths or schema. We have URL, ID and V. Did I add underscore V here? No. Maybe it's because of that. I don't know. Right. What is the schema number? The schema number stays the same for all of them. Okay. Anyway, maybe it's paths that we need to check. I can't open this object. Right. Okay. How do I know whether this returned true or not? How? Cancel, run again. I did not make any changes. Okay, let's go back, refresh the page. Now chat OpenAI has been added. Good. Okay, so conditions said this. Update path distinct. Where will we see? What does find return? Operation called find, options, an empty object. But if I refresh this here, I'll see 2 entries. As you can see here, chat.openai https:// with a URL ID. So what do we check? How do we do so? Find people by name. find command in MongoDB db.collection.find. Okay, field 1 or 2 this projection. अबे एक example दिखाना, example please. Okay, the BIOS collection where the okay. So does this mean to create and populate? Okay, find all documents in a collection. Find method with no parameters returns all documents from a collection and returns all fields for the documents. You know what? Okay, fine. कहाँ गया? I should not have slapped so hard. I'm going to copy that, and instead of pasting a link here, I'm going to paste that. Let's see if you work. Console.log. Does it, whether it returns the same thing or not? Global plugins, version key. Okay, ID is true. Was it false before? We'll find out. Version key v ID true. No ID false. No virtual ID true here. Okay. ID at 1. The following operation returns documents in the BIOS collection where ID equals 5. Returns documents, so it would return everything, an entire object, I suppose. Wait a minute. In operator return document where I equals either 5 or object. Right. GT operator returns documents from the BIOS collection where birth is greater than new date. GT is greater than, get it? हाँ ठीक है, तो वो पूरा डॉक्यूमेंट देता है. By document they mean an entire object which consists of 4 key value pairs. I'm still okay with that. How do I know whether it returned true? Does tree mean that? I do not know. Find dot tree then. I don't even know if that is a valid argument. Yeah, please confirm from resubmission. Okay, refresh the page. Okay, no URL was sent. URL validation failed. Okay, and a bunch of errors. That's okay. Yeah, let's go back, refresh the page. Let's add whatever philosophize this. Cool. So this URL was sent. It says URL validation failed. Did it say that again? I don't know anymore. How do I clear this? Please clear the terminal. That is so much better. But by clearing the terminal, it also click. Okay. Let's start this again. Go back, refresh the page. Good. Okay, so only one deprecation error. Cool. So https://google.com. Google.com already exists at URL ID number 1. Good. Enter. Cool. So it printed whatever. And it says undefined, so that means .tree doesn't exist. That's okay. Start again, go back, enter. Cool, so we see a few things. Now let's check this. There already is a URL ID. Now that should be 2 URL IDs. So did it return 2 documents? Google.com was entered 3 times now. Okay, so let's find URL ID, URL_ID. That is not included. So what do I do? How do we get this to work? I mean, I'll have to go by intuition. Q buffer false. Okay, maybe this buffer is what we are looking for. Buffer false happened twice. Closed false. How many true values do we have? 17 true values. Right. First true. Okay, so this is the first true. Minimize. Wait, that's 17. Why is this 17? I asked for 1. How are incremental values? Okay. Hala? Wow. Okay, whatever. That is so interesting. It goes from below, bottom to up. Fine. Use projection true. Next. Global plugins applied. Pluralization strict. True. Buffer commands true. Capped true. Minimize true. How will I know whether it worked? Was there any other true value? Maybe. Okay. Next is validate before save. ID true. Okay, in that case, if it says ID is true, so in that case, let's add a link that doesn't exist yet, or I can, yeah. Refresh the page. Sulfur.1. Cool, so it said sulfur.1. Now it says conditions sulfur.1. That's okay, I don't mind. But how many true do you have now? We should see. I see 13 of them. Before it was that. So that means some of them weren't true. ID is still true, no ID is still false. Validate before save, read null, shared key, auto index. Did it have a value before? Only one way to find out. Has ID 0. कहाँ गया? Listening false. Not you. No ID true false. Shared key. These are the same. Okay. What did it say? Fields update path distinct. Does it return true in some cases? It couldn't even find what? It returned undefined for both Google and HTTPS. Required paths URL. There's no change with the two of them except for this required paths argument or key value pair. It's all JavaScript object notation, all of it. It does return an ID for google.com. Do you return an ID for how many times does this occur? Copy and find. Okay, ID 0 occurs the same number of times. I couldn't just write tree, maybe it's schema.tree. Okay, so .schema dot tree. Cancel, run again. Before I do that, yeah. कहाँ गया? शेल अला शेल तो दिखा क्या अला क्लियर करता है लेकिन वो नहीं करता. npm start short URL 3.0.0.3 start. That's okay. Refresh the page, please. Okay, so now nijinursery.com. Good. Okay, for the first time we see something very small. Good. So schema.tree worked. It printed auto true. What's that mean? And mind you, this function was called before that. Oh yeah, we can do that. Let's not add any more entries. Let's only look for them. Now it says URL ID and we have another ID, virtual type path ID, getters ID getter. What does that mean? I think I added Niji Nursery for the first time, so it was incorrect. Okay, let's refresh the page. Now Niji Nursery does exist. Wait, I'll also have to cancel this, run again. Yeah, my bad. Chat.openai does exist. What will it return? Okay, what's the difference? Function string required true, auto true, type object ID. Function string required true, auto true. They're the same. Oh, come on! It's 10:30, huh? 3.5 घंटे से better. Wow. I'll take a short break, then I'll go live again in some time. I'll see you guys again in the next live video. Thank you for watching and ciao.